Yes guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Is another moment of Raila Amolo Odinga to be denied asijaribu kuingia kanisani siku ya Sunday because speeches za Raila Amolo Odinga zinamsaliti mwenyewe.
So now to invite my brother William Samoei Ruto to come, the president, party leader of UDA.
Kumbuka guys, Kenyans are angry now. Even waumini, even pastors wamejam kwamba Raila Odinga hawezi kuwa anacheza na akili ya Wakenya.
Rafiki zangu hao wote wananijua, nimekaa Lamu over 41 years, mimi ni mtu mzima mzee ambaye sasa natayarisha vijana hao.
Hawezi kuwa anacheza na akili ya Wakenya. Eti yeye ako ndani ya serikali, mara yeye hako nje ya serikali. Eti yeye ana support William Ruto in 2027 ama eti yeye hasupport haitawahi tokea anything yeye aweze kusupport William Ruto in 2027 election. Unaona watu wangu, mambo yamechemuka hapa nchini Kenya. Mambo yamechemuka, na hii mambo yanachemuka baada ya Raila Amolo Odinga mwenyewe kuendelea kubetray Wakenya. Wakenya walikuwa wamechukua Raila Amolo Odinga kama opposition leader ambaye anaaminika, ambaye ataendelea kutetea Wakenya up to the end na kisha aweze kuachanisha legacy hapa nchini Kenya. Bado ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba Raila Odinga amekuwa kigeugeu. Raila Odinga amekuwa mnyama. Raila Odinga ameamua kubetray Wakenya completely. Unaona watu wangu?
Ila ninjo timukia handshake kiangogeri. Handshake ri maraje. An pakati mo handshake mando kujuturwa. An handshake mayalo timo. Mariuru kumodhi nyime. Kuro kinde no kapolo duguda hinya. Tingeni koth bruchbe. Okamano.
Na anapozikwa Edward.
So kwa hii team ya broad based government, tuko na hii team ambayo inapiga serikali na kuna hii team ambayo ina support serikali fully, especially wale experts wa Raila Amolo Odinga ambao aliweza kuwaweka pale. Na usahau guys, watu kama kina Hassan Joho, Oparanya, Raila Amolo Odinga's experts ambao waliingia pale, wameanza kupiga U-turn, wameanza kuquit hii broad based government baada ya Raila Amolo Odinga kuendelea kufanya kuonyesha kwamba yeye yuko tena pamoja na Wakenya. Unaona watu wangu? So Raila Odinga leo anablokiwa aingie any church siku ya Sunday. Unaona watu wangu? So I want you to pay attention. Kuna hii speech ya Raila Amolo Odinga guys, ndio inaendelea kumcreatea problems. And show me like video ili kuonyesha kwamba una support hii channel. Na nasema thanks kwa hiyo like yako siku ya Sunday leo. Acha Mungu aweze kukutetea watu wangu. Kwa hivyo guys, kabla usikize wa Kenya jinsi ambavyo wako angry, kitu ya kwanza guys, nataka usikize speech ya Raila Amolo Odinga akiwa KICC wakisign broad based government na William Samoei Ruto. Kisha guys, nataka usikize speech ya Raila Amolo Odinga yesterday.
And persuade me to run. And after a lot of soul searching, I made a decision. And some of you will have seen me with President Obasanjo on my side when I announced that I was going to run for the position of African Union Chair. I did not expect to be supported by the Kenya government. But out of blues, President Ruto announced that he will support my candidature. I thought this is the best way to get rid of him. Good riddance. I would say that, irrespective of the motives, he actually was genuine because he followed that announcement by giving full support to my candidature. As you know, you cannot run for the chair of African Union without being sponsored by your home government. You cannot just sit somewhere there and say, Mimi ni Professor Kithure Kindiki, I want to be a chairman of African Union. You will not even be seen. Your name must be presented by a government official through the embassy of Kenya in Addis Ababa. And this they did. Not only that, they put also the machinery behind my campaign. And Mr. President Ruto himself called various presidents and made appointments for me, and also persuaded them to support my candidature. He himself invited a president from East Africa here in Nairobi to basically adopt me as a candidate for the Eastern region, and this they did. So Kenyan ambassadors in all those foreign countries were also informed and that they would support my candidature, and whenever I went to, they received me at the airport, took me to the hotels, and also took me to meet with the president. I was able to meet more than 40 presidents on the continent. And I traveled Africa from east to west, south to north, like never before. As you know that I have been the high representative of the AU on issues of infrastructure. So I'm not actually strange to these issues, to the continent. But it gave me a better opportunity to now understand problems facing many African countries firsthand from the leadership of the continent. As you know that our continent has suffered seriously from innovations from outside. First was the slave trade that took so many of able manpower across the shores to go and work in the building of Americas, both North America and South America. Some were taken to Arabia, some were incarcerated there and died there. So that was the first. Then came colonialism, where they went and set somewhere in Berlin and partitioned Africa, according to their interests. British, French, Italian, Portuguese, and so on and so forth. So Africa has suffered seriously. That was colonialism. Then when Africans fought for independence, they granted it. It was a flag, but then there was also neo-colonialism that came about, and Africa has continued to be marginalized. So I saw this and came up with a program of how we were going to deal with these issues. We campaigned strongly, and we went to Addis Ababa quite confident of victory. Before I went there, the women here, Orange women in Nairobi, organized a prayer meeting for me in Bomas of Kenya. And they prayed for my success. And I told them that they were only going to do two outcomes in Addis. One, we would win, in which case we would have succeeded. The other one, we would lose, but we would also have succeeded. Because I told them why? We will come back home. So east and or west, home is? So we are here. So when I came back, I went to meet with the president in Mombasa to thank him for the support that the government had given me during that campaign. And he was, of course, very gracious. And at that time, I found when the two teams from the parties had worked out on some documents that they wanted to be signed, I told him I cannot sign the document until I've consulted our people, my people. So it took time from that time I went to Kisumu. I met with Professor. I met with leadership and elders in Kisumu. I went to Siaya. I went to Migori. I went to Homa Bay. I went to Busia, where I met with all the leadership from all the 5 counties in Western. Then I went to the coast. I was in Mombasa. I was in Malindi, in Kilifi. I was in Kwale. I came back. I went to Wajir. I came back. Yesterday I was in Kisii. I was in Narok. I was in Nairobi, here in this same building here with leadership of Nairobi. That is what you call random sampling. And I think I managed to get the feeling of my people, my supporters. And that's the reason why I am today able and confident to sign this document. So I want to say this of note. Today, you have signed a memorandum of understanding between Orange Democratic Movement and the United Democratic Alliance. The carrier goal of the MOU is to help ease the prevailing tensions in the country, reconcile the population, alleviate their suffering, and move the country forward by addressing the critical social, political, and economic issues our people are grappling with today. As leaders of the largest political parties in the country, we arrived at the understanding that in a time of significant changes and challenges to our nation, it is not enough to merely grandstand or stand aside and criticize, easy as those may be. They say any madman can kick down a barn, but it takes a good carpenter to build one. We have agreed to help build a barn for our country, rather than merely kick down what we have. We have agreed to use our parties as a broad platform, bringing together various voices, opinions, and concerns to address the critical challenges facing the country through a formation that is truly national and inclusive in outlook. A core problem we agreed to prioritize is youth unemployment and resulting hopelessness that has made them easy fodder in political contests in which there is nothing tangible for them. In this MOU, we agree to embark on steps to realign the country's economic, social, and political priorities to address the youth agenda that has progressively fallen behind in the last 62 years of our independence. Through this MOU, we commit to uphold the Constitution, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. Importantly, we pledge to tackle unemployment, cost of living, crippling poverty, inequality, and failure of the institutions that have been eroded by inefficiency and corruption over the decades, making them unable to deliver to Kenyans. We seek a more equitable country in which all peoples of all backgrounds are included in the enjoyment of socio-economic benefits and are equal members of one indivisible nation. All Kenyans must feel that they belong here by right and the right to access, without any form of discrimination, whatever Kenya has to offer. We commit to protect and to strengthen devolution as a machinery for ensuring a more inclusive development across the country. In this regard, we will be tabling a proposal that the unbundling of functions that has been recently concluded, counties should get not less than 450 billion shillings in the 2025-2026 financial year. We will also seek the faithful flow of funds to political parties, being vehicles for the channeling of hopes and aspirations of the people. We will use this platform to revisit the constitutional provisions on leadership and integrity, corruption in public life, fundamental freedoms like free speech, protests and assembly, and preservation of the rule of law. We recognize that many of the issues this country is struggling with are as old as the country itself. It will take mutual trust between leaders and the creation of a conducive environment for them to be tackled with honesty and objectivity in a broadly constituted formation. As leaders of our parties, we commit to hold regular consultations on pressing issues, exchange expertise and information on the best practices in the governance of the Republic of Kenya, and facilitate and participate in public activities of interest to the people of Kenya that relate to their problems. We make it clear that the memorandum we have signed today does not define the formation of a political coalition between ODM and UDA. However, its successful implementation could inform the basis of steps toward the establishment of a broadly constitutive and progressive formation for a stable country in future. We urge all Kenyans who are interested in having a stable, inclusive, and progressive country, devoid of grandstanding and alienation of whole communities.
It is a painful time around this time. Yesterday we buried a member of parliament in Homa Bay. That one did not die out of a disease. That one was executed or assassinated. All the same, it is death all the same. But then, I want to say that me and Richard, we have a long history. Odinga'S has been my friend for a long time. He's also been my lawyer at some times. Where? Hey, hello, everywhere, ni wabire elite Marco kijana tukata kamano owacho ni kijana ne onindo to ngima dhi nyime oyogo jimantie kwa chiwad ganyango mabiro ywago ka gi mama na manya lego mabiro ywago wad ganyango ni wuyi motegna ahinya osebedo kod kuonde mang'eny osetiyo na gik mang'eny kuonde ma bentie tiri moko ne wane chandok mang'eny ten mane otelo nyime eno kil kama loka ma wiye go tholi maneno gik moko mabor kucha kendo wacho matim kama wiya lego walugi kama to dhi kama cha omiwar ganyango mos ahinya to kata kamano jothurwa kama wantie ni wani guna kere keki to wadhi nyime nyaka watima ng'o nyaka wadhi kanye wadhi nyime And you watch any own Raila ninja timokia handshake kiangogeri. Handshake ri marachi. And pakatimo handshake man dogo juturua. And handshake mayalo timo. Mari udu kumodi nyimi. Koro kinde no kapolo duguda hinya. Tingeni koth bruchwe. O kamano. Koro ntie kala usi. Vudu fuyo kwa kone gi kocha. Koth bro timere nadi. Manange mabera hinya kumodi wadhi. Ni wange kumodi wadhi. Noti mrecha. Waswahili wacho ni mago na osekadho. Kuro ng'iyo gi nyime. Kwa ng'iyo nyime jithurwa. Kwa ng'iyo nyime koso. Nyime kucha to nitie kuma wadhiye. Wang'e kuma ae, wang'e kuma wantie, wang'e kuma wadhiye. Okamano. Kuro mako modong gi eki to kata kineno kadhi kama tanyalo mna chenjo ng'ato kama. Anyalo chenjo kama. Tang'e kuma gol nitie. Kang'e kuma gol nitie koso. Ukang'e koso. Jithurwa. Wadhi nyime. Oyien wadhi nyime. Kuma yie ting'ne badgi. Ero kamano kada wacho mang'eny ahinya kichwani eriel. Nyasaye mondo oketi wuodani kama ber e polo malo. Thank you.
Very well. Wachope kinde ma wadwaro mondo wachiw luor mogik as we give our offering.